We kept walking till we came to a rocky ridge, where Tolo said that we should stop for the night. Kill a large tree off to the side. Tolo saw a cave up ahead. They started to argue about the safest place for the night. While they argued, Lily and I saw something hanging in the cave. We went closer to see what it was. It turned out to be a pendant. It was black with a red rim, hanging from a skeleton's hand. Suddenly the pendant floated over to Tolo and hovered over him, circling. Finally it settled around his neck. Looking down at it, he jerked it off his neck and threw it onto the ground. It raised back into the air and draped itself back around his neck. Tolo yelled, "I don't want you, leave me." But it didn't move, he kept his head downward. I felt something was wrong, so I asked, "What's wrong?" He looked up and said, "This is a blood pendant. My mistress, Lady Lanu, left this here for me as a trap. Whosoever drinks of my blood while I wear this shall have my pendant's power, and if his heart is black." He paused, then continued, Then, I shall die. This can't happen. I won't let it. I said, taking the blood pendant and covering it in my hand, I murmured, Zuk ma da. When I lifted my hand, the pendant was half black and half white. You shall have till the pendant turns totally black before anyone can take your powers. I stopped. How did I know what to do? It seemed something inside me was trying to help me remember whatever I had forgotten. Tolo looked straight into my eyes and whispered, "What you've done for me is more than anyone ever has. Thank you, Anna." I smiled and said, "That's what friends are for." I climbed back onto Tolo's back. "Tolo, as the pendant grows darker, you will grow weaker. While you have your strength, I think we should keep on going tonight. If anyone is tracking you by it, we will have a head start." We all agreed that was the best plan to follow for the moment. That night, as it grew toward midnight, we saw fireflies as we walked. They were like the fireflies we caught in jars at the cabin, except their lights were the colors of the rainbow, even some other colors. They seemed to be lighting the way for us. That night was one of the most magical nights I had ever experienced, and one I shall remember always. Lily asked with a yawn, "Killen, when will we get to Gnome King's kingdom?" He replied softly, "In the morning, sleep now, my princess." "Good night, Killen," Lily said as she snuggled up into his warm fur, quickly falling asleep. Killen placed his wings over her and said, "Good night, Lily." I stayed awake till just before dawn. Then I, too, started to nod off, almost falling off Tolo's back a couple of times. I finally fell asleep when the sun was coming over the crystal mountain, making a huge rainbow that went into the forest ahead of us. Tolo said, "Come on, Killen, catch up. We don't have much time." He started to run, and Lily woke up with all that bouncing. She sat up quickly. "Killen, why are we running?" He answered, "Forgive me, princess, but we have to get to the rainbow's edge before it fades away for another day. That is where the Gnome King's palace lies." I was awakened by the first bounce and rubbed my eyes with one hand and held on with the other. "Tolo, why are you running? Are we being chased?" "No, Anna, but we must hurry to reach the rainbow," Tolo explained quickly as he ran. Finally we reached the rainbow's edge. "What now?" We wondered. "We have to wait for the right moment. You'll see," Killen explained out of breath. Tolo pointed. "Watch the rainbow. You will see something amazing." We started to watch the rainbow. It seemed to morph into a shadow, then a shape. The shape became a palace that could be seen through the rainbow, seeming to be carved out of wood, like a large tree stump, but much larger. "We have to go there, but we must leave before the sun goes back to the Crystal Mountains. We cannot stay long," Killen explained. We jumped into the rainbow, only to find out that we were surrounded by little men on the other side. We were told to follow them by a small man, the size of a large mouse, with a shield the size of a quarter. Killen and Tolo knew well to listen, for the small spears these men carried were possessing a strong poison. It gave a warning, whistling sound going through the air, to give intruders a chance to run, as Lily and I would find out later on in our journey.